T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and...
Welcome, everybody. We are your hosts, Rockinmrmagic.
UniqDNA.
This is the original Jeek podcast.
Gang. I don't see no competition in my face. If we do, then we just move them out the way. I don't even need no money in my face. Hold on. Give me the money when I finish with the gang.
UniqDNA, my mans. Welcome back.
What's up?
Welcome back. TNA's back. Welcome back. He is back. For all you that joined us previously on the original Jeek podcast, we had our first ever guest for this season, at least. Pat Rhodes joined us, and that was a great time. But it ain't nothing like having the band back together, baby.
Live long and prosper.
Yeah, man. Yeah, too long.
It's been too long. Yeah, so we've been giving you a dope pod to step two. Yeah. So today on the original Jeek podcast, we are going to hit it hard with some topics. We got a whole lot to go through.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to start with our newer format here that we've been doing to start, UniqDNA. What have you been playing lately? And that obviously can be video games, board games, sports. What you been playing, dog?
Yeah. So, well, you know, I had the baby, so I haven't been able to do a whole lot of console playing. So, well, technically the Switch is a console, right? But yeah, portable game.
Gloat all you want about that Switch.
The thing right now. Yeah, so Zelda, of course, Breath of the Wild. Just recently getting back into getting started Destiny 2.
That's right.
That's mostly it. I mean, that's pretty much it. Because, like I said, I haven't had much time to do much else. So I do got time. It's mostly Breath of the Wild. Just because I could be mobile with it, or you know, like as of yesterday, Destiny 2 when I got the time.
Right.
But I mean, hey, I gotta say, I'm level 9 already in less than 24 hours, so that's not bad.
That's right. Rolling with me, get you leveled up real quick. Yeah. Well, if y'all don't recall, UniqDNA, as he mentioned, he and his wife had a baby. My man was in school. My man's working full time while the wife was pregnant. And my man was, doing some learning at his church because he's going to start expanding in his ministry and preaching and teaching. So my man was busy, y'all. So please
don't forget the video editing.
Yeah, video editing for the church, the whole nine. My man's busy,
man. It's been crazy, man. It's been crazy. It's been too busy. Just got a new PC. Super about that.
Yes.
I'm on it right now, actually.
Sexy little thing.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Well, since we played last night for the first time in forever.
Yo, for real. It's been like
real
forever. Last time we played was like Destiny 1.
Yeah, which was like
I was like, yeah,
that was last time we got to play something together.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, Destiny 2 reunited us.
I'm gonna try not to let that happen again.
Yeah, we can't let that happen. So we got to play some Destiny. So I've been playing my Destiny. In between that, I'm still jumping on Final Fantasy 12 Remastered, Zodiac Age on my PS4. Been playing that. I've been playing Shenmue 1.
I just seen.
I picked that up on the Shenmue 1 and 2 on the PS4 remastered. You know how much I love Shenmue.
Yeah.
I wasn't even gonna buy it. I thought it didn't come out for like a couple more months.
Right, I did. I thought so too. Then I was on YouTube and I seen somebody picked it up, and I was like, "Yo, I didn't even know it was out." So now, like, I might have to look up that tomorrow. Like,
well, Tim told me, my man Tim told me, and I was like, "What? Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, I saw it in the store." And I looked, I was like, "Man, you making me spend money." So I went and spent the money.
Right.
That was not planned to be spent, but it's Shenmue. Like I had to get it.
You can't pass that up.
Right. So I'm playing that, but I'm actually gonna start it over again because I wanted to stream that on our Twitch. I'm actually going to try to fill the notebook. I've never filled the notebook on playing Shepherds. Actually, fill the notebook. That's a challenge.
Because I never got to finish because my Dreamcast broke before.
Oh, you never finished it?
Consoles be breaking like this, man. No,
I thought you finished
my Dreamcast. Nah, when I got it was like fate because like when I got my PS2, I'm about to say PS4. When I got my PS2, my Dreamcast broke.
Oh wow! Okay.
It was the old you had to play it upside down. Like you remember like the PS1 days, like to get the CD to keep spinning, you had to turn it upside down.
Oh my god!
I don't know if you remember that, but
I remember that. I didn't have to do it
right.
PS1 for a while, but my friends were doing it, and I was laughing at them.
That was my Dreamcast experience. I had to turn Dreamcast upside down for Jeek to play, and I had the PS2 at the time, so I was like, man, you know what? It's not even worth it no more.
Yeah, just rock this PS2.
just go with the PS2. Because the only thing I used to play was Shenmue and Power Stone anyway, so I was like, I'm good.
You weren't playing the 2Ks?
Well, the 2Ks, but they had ported them already to PS2, not too long after that.
That's true. Yeah, so playing Shenmue, going to do that challenge. And then what else have I been playing? Well, you followers on Twitch know I've been playing some of the retro games on there. And then I picked up some board games. I picked up a card game, Super Mario Brothers card game. Picked up at Walmart.
What does that look like?
Hold on. Super Mario Brothers card game. Bam. Yeah, power-up card game. In Super Mario Brothers power-up card game, you must use your wits, deduction skills, and luck to survive the perils of the Mushroom Kingdom. Keep or trade level cards to avoid having the card with the fewest coins each round, or you might lose an extra life. Play the question block power-ups to gain an advantage, or try and make it safely to the castle. The last player left with extra lives wins the game. Do you have what it takes to get the high score in Super Mario Brothers power-up card game? I had a gift card. I had some gift cards for Walmart that I got buying stuff online using Ibotta, which is a great app to use.
Ibotta is the joint, man.
Ibotta is the joint.
Rebates is fire.
I have saved over $500 shopping using Ibotta. So if you ain't using that, click the link in the description, sign up for Ibotta, redeem a rebate, get $10 back off for signing and redeeming a rebate, and save some money.
Is Ibotta one of our sponsors? Because they should be.
Unofficial spot. Look, use the link, get the money. It sponsors us, helps us out, helps the channel, helps you out. Like I said, I have personally saved over $500 in 3 years using Ibotta.
Yeah, I don't know about 500, but I'm
you made that 500, but you don't have to feed as many people as I do. I gotta feed more people.
That's true.
I buy more. That's why.
That's true.
That's why. So I'm buying things like I saved $1 on Del Monte fruit cups.
Oh yeah, all the time. And the milk.
And milk.
They getting the rebates on the milk. It's like $2.50.
Especially like that organic milk, like it's like $1.50 off. Like that makes it worth it. I wouldn't try some of that if it wasn't for that.
All we do is almond milk over here, so that's like $3.50.
Yeah, for real. I ain't playing that game. But what's really dope for those who don't know about it is you can still use your coupons. I use regular coupons and I'll save like 50 cents or $1 on something. And still, if I have a rebate for it, I save on that end too. I've gotten stuff for free that way as well. So it's really dope. Use Ibotta, link in the description, free app for your iPhone, Android, and whatnot. But I shopped on Ibotta for a couple of times on Walmart when I bought myself my Apple Watch. And I bought myself my Father's Day gift, which was my iPad. And each time I shopped, I got a $5 Walmart gift card out of nowhere. So I was like, cool. So I had this $10 in Walmart gift cards. I was at Walmart shopping for a birthday for my kids. And I was like, you know what? This looks dope. I got some extra money. Let me get this game. I'm going to have the chance to play it yet because it requires three to 8 players. But one of these weekends, probably this weekend, I'm going to take the girls out. It says ages 8 and up. I'm going to have the girls sit down and we'll learn to play Super Mario Bros. Power-Up card game. So this was also something I would be playing. And that's pretty much what I've been playing and I'm about to play. I should be playing some sports, some get myself moving. But I digress. I did play some Minecraft this weekend.
Oh yeah, that's right. You went to
I went to Mine Fair.
Mind Fair.
Yeah, I took the girls on the Mine Fair. That was pretty dope. That was their first ever, convention type event, which they were excited for. I was kind of surprised because they don't play much Minecraft.
Whose idea was it to go? Yours or theirs?
Okay, so this is what happened. So my job was giving away tickets to the customer service team, and being a part of the sales team, like we weren't a part of that. Yeah. So my homie Ray, who, if you don't know Ray personally, but any of our listeners to the original Jeek podcast, if you also listen to our other show, Breaking Ring Rust, Ray is one of the co-hosts of Breaking Ring Rust, and he and I work together. Ray gave me tickets to Mine Fair that he had gotten from our job, and he happened to have 4 tickets. One day passes, and this was Friday at like 5 o'clock when he handed these to me. So I had no plans to go this weekend. I didn't even know about it until people started handing them around or to each other in the office. So I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll go Saturday. Maybe we'll go. I didn't know if my girls would be excited to go because they don't really play Minecraft. I think they've played 3 times on the copy we have for the 360. But when they saw the tickets, they were excited to go, despite the fact that they don't play Minecraft much. And so I was like, okay, let's do it. So we went Sunday, and I saved a lot of money giving me those tickets because they were like $50 a pop.
Wow.
And we
Minecraft?
Yeah, bro. Yo,
it's like Comic-Con prices.
Yo, it was $50 a pop because my wife was like, how many tickets do you have? I'm like, I got 4. You gave me 4 tickets. She goes, well, what if I want to go? So I go on there, and it's like, after the online fee, it was like $51 or something like that. And then I had a discount code to save 20%. I was on this envelope, so I put that in, and it was still $30-something discount. And she was like, "No, that's not." I'm like, "Okay, so I'll just take them." So I saved like $200 that way. But it was cool. There were some Minecraft YouTubers there. The girls got some autographs from Ursula's Revenge was there. And then I forget his name. He was actually a really nice guy. I forget his name. It's going to come to me. I'll probably link his page in the description because he was really nice to my kids. He had a really entertaining show that he went up on the big stage and he interacted with the parents, with the kids, and then he was signing autographs. He had his merch there. He didn't charge for autographs, which was cool.
That's cool.
He did a little dance-off with the twins. That was cute. And, took a picture with him, and they really enjoyed him. And his mom was there selling merch for him, which was kind of cute. Had you heard of his name? Is Parker. Parker, Parker. He's got a bunch of channels. Parker Scares, Scare Parker, or something like that. Yeah. Really, really, really goofy dude, but he was entertaining. And his mom was like, have you heard of Parker before? I'm like, honestly, no. But we enjoyed the show he did. He's, entertaining. She goes, he's very family friendly. Your girls can watch. I said, no, that's great because, it's hard to find family friendly content on YouTube. It's not easy. Half the time I tell them when they want to watch the React channel, they can only watch the kids ones because, with the language on the adults. Yeah. So that was cool. They really enjoyed that. The first thing we saw was some 7-year-old kid is trying to break the Guinness World Record for Minecraft Legos set or whatever. He's got all these Minecraft Legos he's done by himself. Wow. For like 2 years. It was huge display. There was a Lego stand there for kids to just build, so they spent some time doing that. Cool. And I'm drawing a blank now. You know the name of that charity that streams for children's hospitals?
Child's Play?
No, it's called something like Hearts for something. I don't remember what it is. I signed up for it. I heard of them before. I'd seen their logo before. They do the streaming to raise money for children's hospitals. They had a booth there. I was talking to them, and they had a Nintendo Classic a Super Nintendo Classic, and a Switch at their table. So the girls got glued to that while I was talking to the guys. He ended up subscribing to our podcast. So I subscribed to his.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, nice guy, Dave.
Welcome.
Dave. Yeah, pick up Dave. It was funny because we were talking about this, the NES Classic and the SNES Classic. I noticed he had loaded some extra games in his SNES Classic, and that triggered him asking what I thought about the Sony PlayStation Classic. I was like, hey, I just talked about that on my podcast. He's like, oh, cool. What is your podcast about? So you kind of we chopped it up about it a little bit. He goes, yeah, I have a podcast. We've been doing it for X amount of years, and we just had like our 350th episode. I'm like, good God, okay. Yeah, we've been doing it for a while. So, pickups to Dave from Game Enthuse podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, they've 357 episodes strong.
I'm gonna check it out.
So that was cool. And that ended up being the girl's favorite spot in the entire con. We went through all that thing, and we go all through these other places and see the other things. And after we're eating, which I spent way too much money on, they go, can we go back where the Nintendo was? I'm like, y'all want to go back and play Nintendo? Well, I can't believe them. They don't know Minecraft that much, but they wanted to go back and play Nintendo. And they had the Labo on the Switch for the fishing. So they wanted to do that again. So they went back and they're doing that. I'm like, okay, you go.
How was that?
Sharing. It's fun. I go front. And it's fun. The Labo is dope. I mean, I understand you're paying for cardboard and you shouldn't be paying that much money for cardboard. But the concept is dope. The interactivity is dope. I would
it was like a Walmart deal for it. Yeah, like a Walmart deal. Like you get the Switch. You basically get it for free with the Switch.
Okay.
And I was like, should I get it? But then I was like, it's just cardboard. But I never tried it out. So,
but it is fun and it looks great. I would have to do a deal or something like that. I know when I eventually get a Switch, which is probably gonna be this Christmas, that's gonna be like the Christmas gift to me and like the family gift. I'm gonna spend a whole bunch of money because I need to get the Switch. I have all these kids, so I need to get extra controllers. I need to get a pro controller for myself. Yeah. And then I need to cop, obviously, Breath of the Wild. I need to cop Mario Kart. I need to cop Odyssey. And then Smash is supposed to drop in December. So I got to cop that too. So at least 5 games.
Yeah.
And then and Mario Party. Mario Party is supposed to drop.
Mario Party.
Yeah, and Mario Party. So that's 6.
They got Pokemon coming out sometime later.
I don't care about Pokemon. I'm actually going to start my Pokemon journey on our Twitch. I don't know when it's coming out, to be honest. I don't.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I forgot when it's coming out, but
I'm not big. I'm not a Pokemon player. I'm going to start playing Pokemon maybe on our Twitch, but I don't care about Pokemon for the Switch. 6 games is enough. That's a lot of money I'm going to be spending to get a Twitch in this house. I mean, Twitch.
I'm not mad at you. I'm like, I got it. I just got to get it because like the new one is supposed to be like a remake of Pokemon Yellow, and I'm like,
well, yeah, that's like the coup de grace, man. That's Pokemon Yellow. Man.
Like other than Red and Blue, which Red was my favorite, but it's like.
What about Well, I remember the one everyone. I think I was still working at EB that came out. Everyone was making noise over. Was it Blue Eyes White Dragon or something like that?
No, that's you thinking about I forgot the name of it now.
It was a Pokemon, wasn't that Pokemon?
Blue Eyes White Dragon?
Wasn't that Pokemon? I could have swore that was
Pokemon. Blue Eyes White Dragon is Yu-Gi-Oh.
I don't know. Stupid.
Come on, man. How you not know?
Because I didn't care about card. I did not care about Pokemon. I didn't care about Yu-Gi-Oh. I didn't care about Digimon. I didn't care about none of the monster games. I didn't care. I didn't care. I didn't care.
You were a little older than I was.
I was too old for that. I was like, I don't care about this. No.
I was at the perfect age.
I do wish I could have collected some of them cards, of them expensive cards. Shoot. The money people making selling them.
Yo, I think I still got some of mine. I gotta check. I got this big binder with like all my basketball cards and stuff, and I think I threw some Pokemon cards in there.
Well, check to see if you got any of them Charmanders up in there. Those expensive joints.
For real.
So that's a long segment of what we've been playing. So that's what I've been playing. What have you been watching since eyes are easier to toggle than hands?
Facts. I have been playing too. Elder Scrolls, the card game on the mobile that just came out this past E3.
I didn't even know there was a card game. See, I'm not a card game. My card games are spades, man. I play spades.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty dope. Yeah, I was watching the whole Bethesda E3 thing, and they talked about it, so I downloaded it. It's pretty cool
or whatever. Yeah,
whatever you want to call it. So so I have been playing that as well.
Okay.
I was playing that before the Switch, but now that I got the Switch, I don't play it as much. But at work and stuff, when I'm bored, I break it out.
Okay.
As far as what I've been watching, a lot of YouTube. Because like for the last, I don't know, probably for the last month, I've been trying to build this PC. So, watching a lot of YouTube on, just how to build custom PCs and the right equipment to get and different components and all that. Actual TV, I cut the cord on cable finally. So
well done.
So I just been streaming Netflix and Hulu, and I started watching Archer because Hulu just got Archer season 7, I think, or 8.
Okay.
So I've been watching that. I've been watching My Hero Academia, Black Clover.
Okay.
And I'm forgetting one. Oh, Dragon Ball Super.
Okay.
Which
okay,
it's entertainment.
Okay, well, that Dragon Ball is an interesting conversation. If you look,
I want to go jump on the Facebook.
You would jump on if you notice on our Facebook page today, my man DJ Nelson threw out an interesting conversation about Dragon Ball versus Dragon Ball Z. Definitely jump into that conversation. That's going to get lively. Let's see.
It already is.
It already is. Yeah, that could go so many places.
Dragon Ball Z was way better, but I'm not.
That's exactly what I said. Vegeta automatically makes it a better series. Automatically, Vegeta, bam, better series. Automatically.
Vegeta,
he's a man. So what have I been? You know what? I've been slacking. I ain't gonna front. Watching wise, I have been watching. Obviously, been watching wrestling. I have to for the Breaking Ring Rust podcast. Obviously, I have. I enjoy watching wrestling, but I've been watching wrestling. So I've been watching Women of Wrestling, a.k.a. WOW. Been watching some New Japan Pro Wrestling, Shin Nippon Parusu. And what else have I been watching? Some clips of Raw and SmackDown. But I've been watching, again, because you know me and keep going back. I've been watching Gunslinger Girl again. I haven't
watched that in a while.
Yeah, it's always good to go back, and it's been too long since I've rewatched Full Metal Panic, so I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that. But I've been watching some Gunslinger Girl.
I just finished when we were at the hospital with the baby. I watched it in like 3 days. I had nothing else to do. You sit around.
Hold the baby. So that's Sosuke Sagara, baby. Can you say Sosuke Sagara? Can you say Kaname Chidori? Can you say arm slave? Good arm slave. Very good.
Oh, I watched recently. I just finished recently Gundam Iron Blood Orphans.
I haven't. I put that in my queue. I have not watched it yet.
It's good. You should watch it. It's good. Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah,
okay, because I've been looking for something to watch before I go to bed. So I actually watched that movie. Hold on, let me look at it. Where is it? I hate when they keep moving. Oh, okay. So I was also watching Gargantia on the Veritas Planet.
Okay.
I had not seen that before. I was kind of mad there's no season 2. I was actually kind of got into that. And then okay. So I've been watching.
That's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's
then,
what I thought. I saw it, but I didn't know. I think I added it to my queue.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Might watch it tonight.
Yeah, it was good. And then I was watching In This Corner of the World.
Okay.
The movie. I ain't expect to have to cry, man. Like, yo, this joint is sad, man. I mean, don't spoil. I mean, spoiler. This joint is sad. Like, if you're gonna watch, I figured it looks like, you know, a serious story. So like, I can put this on. I can watch it. If I fall asleep, okay, I'll keep watching it. As I was looking for something to watch that if I fell asleep, it wasn't going to be like, you know, guns and bombs and, you know, armed slaves and mechs, you know, blowing stuff up. And not waking me up, but waking the kids up in the middle of the night. So I was looking for something that was, you know, on the more quiet side, because I have fallen asleep too many times watching, you know, Gunslinger Girl or Full Metal Panicker or Attack on Titan or something like that. And,
right.
you know, you got like a little church coming out. Yeah, okay, you can't have that. So I figured this one would be nice and calm. Yeah, sad as all get out. I'm like, wow. It's good, but yo, like I'm sitting there like, I can't believe this poor girl. I was like, okay. That's really what I've been watching. I rewatched. I did watch Scott when Scott Pilgrim dropped on Netflix. I had to watch. I didn't
watch that yet.
Oh, you haven't seen Scott Pilgrim yet? Are you kidding me?
I've seen it.
Oh, okay,
I've seen it. I've watched
it
before. I'm saying since it came back.
Since it came back, yeah.
Netflix.
I had to watch that. I watched One from the Bronx because that came back. Okay. I love me my Jackie Chan. And then because I needed some good comedy, I watched Eddie Murphy's Delirious. I needed some comedy in me. I had to watch it.
Did you watch the Bleach live action?
No, it's in my queue. I've heard nothing but good things, but I'm still kind of like, I don't know.
So it's not terrible. It's like
because you said Alchemist was terrible.
Alchemist was terrible.
Okay,
but this one's not bad. I watched it. I watched it yesterday with Big Country. He came over, so we watched it. And we came to the same consensus it wasn't bad. Yeah, it was a little campy.
I expected it to be campy. Bleach is campy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it to not be campy in some parts.
Yeah, some of the stuff like some of the stuff just looks ridiculous. Like, you know, some things just don't transfer well to real life.
Yeah, because
so, like, you know,
some things.
The giant
swords, these 8-foot long swords.
yeah, it just looks a little crazy, but they didn't quite stick to the story, but it wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't noticeable.
Okay.
You know, especially since I haven't watched Bleach in a while, so I've forgotten some things.
I think they were banking on that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They were. A lot of people hadn't watched Bleach in a minute, so like we can get away with some stuff.
Yeah. And then I haven't confirmed it, but I'm pretty sure that what's his name? Johnny Mora? The voice actor for Ichigo. I think
it's Johnny Moro. I think
it's Johnny Mora. Yeah, he it sounds like him. If it's not him, whoever they got to play the dub for him for them is like it sounds almost just like him. If it's not him. I didn't watch the credits this week. I meant to check that. But yeah, so that's cool. And it sounds like they got a couple other people from the original cast to do the dubs. So that's pretty cool because, you know, it makes it gives you a little bit of like authenticity when you hear people, you know, familiar voices.
Oh yeah, the voice does so much for any medium. I don't care if it's, you know, live action or if it's animated. The voice does so much. Like you know how going down the rabbit hole a little bit here, but
don't we always?
You know how I'm not a fan of the Nolan trilogy of Batman.
We're not going to talk about that, but go ahead.
So I'm watching. Okay, this is something else I've been watching. I've been watching Talking Tunes with Rob Paulson because Rob Paulson's amazing. Okay. For you fans if you don't know Rob Paulson was the voice of Yakko Warner from the Animaniacs, and he was the voice of Pinky, and he's amazing. He's got a show on Nerdist called Talking Tunes, where he and other prominent
love that
voice
show.
actors, they read scripts from other shows, and it's just hilarious. So
It's so good.
it's so good. It's great. So they had an episode where Kevin Conroy, who was the voice of Batman in the animated series, read
My man.
from
My favorite Batman.
the best Batman, where Kevin Conroy read the lines from The Dark Knight. And it was excellent because it sounded like Batman.
Like Batman.
It sounded like Batman. I'm like, yes, this is what that stupid movie was. Big part of what that stupid movie was missing was something that sounded like Batman. Like, this is what I should have been hearing. And it was great. It was amazing. It was like, thank you. All we need is a good-looking dude to fight in the suit and let Conroy's voice go over it. I don't need to hear any other actors. That was great. It was wonderful. Voice makes so much of a difference. It's like,
Oh, yeah, it definitely does.
So much of a difference, which is why voice actors like him and, Phil Lamar and Hamill and the woman, I always forget her name. And I love her. She's great. The woman from A Different World that's done like everything under the sun. Her name's going to come to me later. I can't believe I forgot it, but it's terrible. She's excellent. Cree something.
Cree Summer.
Yes.
Cree Summer. I was thinking that, and I was like,
yes. She's amazing. Great voice actress. Ones like that, they're amazing, and they keep on getting other work because the voice is so impactful. And that's dope that Bleach has that because, from all these other all these other live action projects they keep talking about doing, for anime, they rumored about doing one for Full Metal Panic. They did that terrible Dragon Ball movie. There's so much ones that they've teased and hinted at where the voice is so key. You're accustomed to a voice, you're accustomed to a pitch and a cadence, and when you get an actor or an actress that can't do it or even come close to it, it's like,
Yeah, it just turns you off.
It doesn't have the same vibe. So that's really cool that they have that. I'm definitely gonna watch that. It's one of those ones where I know I need time. So like it's one of those I have to watch on the weekend. I need time.
Right. It felt a little long. If I have any complaints, that might be
Bleach is long.
It is. And that was what we were talking about it while we were maybe like a quarter of the way through. I was like, they can't be doing the whole story. Like, that's not possible.
Hopefully now we've been sitting there for you two will still be sitting there.
Yeah. Because it was like, they were kind of alluding to like different things, and you're like, oh well, like, because I was like, where, it's like kind of like where are they gonna end, right?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, how are they gonna end it? And I'm like, okay, it looks like they're going in this direction, right? Like it looks like they might be going to the Soul Society arc, or it looks like they might. And I'm like, oh man, wait. There's so many different ways they can go with this. Like, what? Right? Like, how long is this movie again? But yeah, that's the only thing that it felt a little like towards the end. I was like, okay, you kind of dragging it out a little bit.
Right. It's like just ended. Call it a day.
Yeah. And I was like, they kind of left it. No spoilers, but they kind of left it like, depending on how well it does, like you could do a part two. Maybe a part two, or we just leave it here and act like this never existed. Like, it's one of those type of endings, Yeah. It's like maybe we'll just say like
maybe we're gonna pretend that this didn't happen. This is an aberration. This didn't happen.
You didn't see the whole thing.
Hey, don't look over here. This is never here.
Netflix will bury it somewhere deep in their archives.
Right.
But it actually was pretty good, so it's not bad.
That's awesome. Well, speaking of things uncovered from archives, there's been a lot of talk, and we talked last week about the Sony Classic that is going to be.
So mad I missed that conversation, by the way.
Well, we can kind of have it a little bit here because I want to compare it to another classic system I didn't even know was out, and it's also a mini. Neo Geo Mini. I did not know SNK had released this. Yeah. I happened to stumble upon it, and I'm like, really? Like, okay. So some of the knocks I've talked about with the Sony Classic are the price, the fact that there's no power supply.
Yeah.
And
That's kind of stupid.
yeah, it's kind of stupid. And the fact that there's only 20 games on it, and we don't know what the other 15 are. We know 5, but not the other 15. And part of me, the problem is I don't play enough Sony PlayStation Classics. I only play a good handful, so it's not worth it for me. But if I was so inclined, there are 40 games on this Neo Geo Mini, which is different because it is a mini arcade. It has an arcade pad. You can buy separate game pads. But because it's a mini, it's also wildly impractical, in my opinion. Like, unless you're a child, and I ain't no child, and even when I was a child, I had extremely big hands. Like, what am I supposed to do with this mini arcade that can fit on the palm of my hand? Like, what am I supposed to do with that? I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. Like, you could have made a mini Neo Geo like the console, and then just connected it to a TV like every other one, or a monitor like every other mini console, and had some game pads with it, and still had your 40 games on it. And you don't have to have the arcade buttons. Like, I understand Neo Geo. Like, I understand it's still an arcade thing to a lot of us, and me. Like, Neo Geo, my first experience was the arcade, but it's not practical to have this mini arcade. Like, I can't play it.
Right.
I can't play it like that.
I think it's purely for, in my opinion, it looks like. I mean, I get it, with the price and everything, it's like it shouldn't be, but it seems purely for nostalgia and for like the Jeek show.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll put it on the shelf, but I'm not for $110. I mean, on the shelf.
I just don't like. I don't know why. Like, why not? Yeah, like you said, why not make a mini console and then just come with like bring like a joystick pad. Like, have a joystick pad if you want the arcade feel. Like, give me a joystick pad, you know, and that'll be my controller instead of the pro controllers we have now, for lack of a better word. Just give me a joystick pad, joystick and 3 buttons or 2 buttons. And I'm
Precisely.
Good.
Yeah. That's not a hard concept. Like really, it doesn't have to be this 3.5-inch. Who wants to play Rampage on a 3.5-inch screen? You can't see nothing. Like, what are you supposed to do with that?
Does it have video outputs at all?
Yeah, it's got an HDMI output.
Okay, so at least you can.
But yeah, look it up, that part's cool. But what am I supposed to do? But it doesn't come with HDMI cord. That's sold separately.
Of course not.
They want you to play it on the 3.5-inch screen. I got phones with bigger screens. Like, come on. Like, that is not practical at all.
No.
It's like, come on, SNK. What do you see? This is why y'all ain't in the hardware business no more. This is why y'all failed.
I think everybody's capitalizing on this. And we talked about this years ago with the remake episode, like one of our first episodes.
Right, true. Yeah, our very first episode was about remakes. You ain't lying.
Yeah. Everybody's capitalizing on this nostalgia, man. And it's like, they know you're going to buy it because it's Neo Geo and, you got history there. And so not everybody, I'm not saying you specifically, but people are going to buy it because it's Neo Geo. You're going to get, and then of course you're going to get all the gaming YouTubers are going to have it on one of their unboxings. And it's just like the hype is going to be there. And so once the hype dies down, then that's it for it. It's dead. But
apparently it's been out for a while and like no one's talking about it though.
Which, yeah, that's a little surprising to me. I mean,
well, a lot of people didn't play Neo Geo. Like it never. When I was a kid, Neo Geo one, it was mad expensive. It was like $400, or maybe even $500. It was mad expensive. I only got one later on as an adult because I was an adult and I had money. But my parents weren't dropping coin for that. That wasn't happening. To play have Neo Geo.
Yeah, I don't even think we had one. We had it. I just remember it from
the arcade. Yeah, but the home console, like even now, if you go to a local game store that happens to have one pre-owned, they want 400 bones for that joint. Like, it is expensive.
Of course.
You know, it's so.
Yeah.
You have a very small market here in the States for it because of how expensive it was in the 90s, let alone how expensive it is now. And you have a generation that's into gaming that didn't grow up with arcades, so they didn't grow up with Neo Geo. You know, you have a generation of gamers and kids who went and watched The Rock's Rampage movie and had no idea it was based off a video game. You know?
That's a scary thought. That's a scary reality.
But that's the reality. A lot of these people had no idea that was supposed to be a video game movie.
Yeah,
that's why they went and saw the movie, because they didn't know what they were watching. That's why it made so much money, which I can't believe it made. Nothing against you, Rocky. I love you, bro, but come on, man. That I can't. I'm not going to diss the movie.
Yeah, I didn't even see it. I'll wait till it comes out on Netflix. But anyway.
Yeah. So, like, I think the concept is a good idea to jump on this classic retro mini system wave. But a mini arcade is like the dumbest thing in the world you can make. Like,
I'm not totally sold on this mini system wave in the first place.
I like it.
Like, really?
I do. I mean, I like it. I have a classic SNES. I'm gonna clop a classic NES. I had one in my cart, and I thought I could buy, but apparently I didn't. I like it because, one, as a collector, it allows me to let my kids play what I play as a kid without them messing up my original systems.
Okay,
that is a big plus for me. It's worth $70 or $80 for a classic system for me to be able to preserve the integrity of my classic systems, which are 30 years old, 20-some years old, you know, that are still in good condition.
Yeah.
So that alone is worth it. I to have
the NES and the SNES. Okay, cool.
Yeah, those now for me, the PlayStation, no.
I feel like, yeah.
Like I said, I only play 5 games.
I got a lot of classic. Yeah, and those 5 games I probably already have on my PS4.
Exactly. Exactly. I probably already have those classic games on the PS3 from the store or the PS4. Right. So it's like, why would I get it again?
For the third time.
For the third time. But I've already got it. And if in those classic PS1 games, I have them still. I have my Final Fantasy and all that. I still have those. 7. And if I really want to play them, I can break out my PS1 or my PS2 and play them, or I can play the copies I probably already have on my PS3 or PS4. Like,
I know I don't break them out anymore because, man, remember those discs? Talk about scratching easy.
Forget scratching easy. Forget those load times, dog.
Oh yeah, the load times.
The load times.
Usually
3 discs for Final Fantasy 7. Them load times, dog.
Yeah. So usually, like I mean, I'm still waiting for Final Fantasy 7 the remake, but
oh my god, yes, me too.
Usually, I just play it on, like all the other games, I just play on my PS4.
Yeah,
my PS3. But I just like when I heard the PlayStation Classic, I was like, okay, I want to do like a 20th anniversary or whatever, but other than that, like, why?
Yeah, I was like, why? I'm like, what would I play? Final Fantasy 7, but I already have that on the PSN. Final Fantasy 8, I already have that on the PSN. Twisted Metal, I already have that on the PSN. It's like Metal Gear Solid.
I already have that.
And I still have the original. Like I still have the originals of all those except for Twisted Metal. So I'm like, 5 games.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not even Crash Bandicoot. I didn't like Crash Bandicoot that much.
Jetmoto.
Yeah, maybe Jetmoto. But Resident Evil 1, I already have that in the PSN.
I still have that already. Yeah.
And if I'm gonna replay Resident Evil 1,
I'm gonna play the remake.
I'm going to play the remake on the GameCube that's so freaking gorgeous to this day. Like, I'm not going to play that one. I'm going to play the one on the GameCube because it looks better.
Yeah.
You know, so like,
or Code Veronica. I still love Code Veronica.
Oh, Code Veronica. Oh. Dreamcast Code Veronica was better than Code Veronica X on the PS2, my opinion. I love Code Veronica.
No. Yeah, talking about Dreamcast.
Yeah,
the Dreamcast. Original Code Veronica.
Yeah, the original Code Veronica on the Dreamcast. That was dope. I'm going to have to play Code Veronica. I have not played that in a long time.
Stream that one too.
Oh, that one I have to find something to connect the Dreamcast to. But oh my god, I love that game. That game was so dope.
Oh yeah, that's right. You don't have. You gotta get the capture card. We gotta
Yeah,
get we gotta get you a new PC.
You ain't lying, man. I do.
Yeah, man. That's the one thing I'm loving.
The capture card.
I got a capture card. I can plug up anything to that sucker. It costs a little bit, but it's worth it.
Well, maybe we get to continue to grow. Thanks to everyone who's listening and supporting us. We appreciate it. We continue to grow. I can get some of that because, there's so much I would love to do and try, but yeah, that's the burden of. I mean,
I did mine piece by piece. That's
why that's how I'm going to do it. Hey, but that's why I do stuff like Garbata, so I can get that extra cash, put it in there, get redeemed for that PayPal cash, the gift cards for Amazon. Shoot, I'm all about that extra dollars.
I was like, give me the cheapest stuff first. I bought my case first, and then
the
hard drive here. Hard drive
there.
The most expensive thing was like
the graphics card. Okay, here it comes.
The processor. I was like, the
processor. Oh Lord,
I started processing. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, processor graphics card. Oh, these are both expensive.
I'm still waiting for graphics. I didn't even get a graphics card, and I'm still waiting for them suckers to come down more.
Oh, so crazy.
Because that whole cryptocurrency wave, I was like, man, y'all can keep that.
Yeah, don't even get me started.
But anyway, back to
keeping on the gaming front. This is a little bit of old news, but it's still significant news. Ninja, who is a gamer known for his Fortnite playing, graced the cover of ESPN the magazine. That is something I never thought I would see, is an esports player, which I didn't even really consider. I guess every game that's competitive is an esport, but I never thought I would see a esports player grace the cover of ESPN the magazine. What are your thoughts on the impact that this has on the validity of esports in mainstream culture?
Well, first I'll say I'm not surprised. I knew it was coming. I mean, it's a natural progression of things. Once in esports, it was like you already know it's coming, right? The natural progression of things is like, okay, what's next? Well, you got to go mainstream. You got to go, all those things. And then when you have, pro players and all these celebrities buying, starting their own esports teams or buying esports teams, and and then the whole what was it, the $100,000 contract or whatever it was, from I forgot who it was. Was it Magic Johnson? Shaq? Somebody. But yeah. So once you start, once I saw that, I'm like, yeah, okay, natural progression is that, and then the desire for regular sports is slowly declining.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's the desire. It's that people are getting soft.
Right.
People are getting really soft, and the dangers of certain sports are being highlighted. Like, CTE is a real thing.
Right.
And when you play games like football, there is a high chance of getting a concussion that can lead to CTE. Yeah. Now, part of the problem with CTE, in my personal opinion, and not that I'm a doctor, but in personal opinion, I've watched a lot of football in my life, and I've seen a digression in fundamentals of the game. Where, yes, old people in the past had some CTE because they weren't properly diagnosed. We also have had a huge decline in fundamentals, which is why I believe we have a rise of concussions amongst current players because no one knows how to tackle anymore. And you got guys going for big, ESPN, truck stick shots from Madden, just blowing somebody up instead of actually wrapping, driving, and tackling someone safely and securely. That keeps you safe, the tackler, and keeps the tacklee safe, and no one's getting their bell rung. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So because of the rise of that, the awareness being put out there, hey, we got pro athletes saying, you know what, if my kid's LeBron LeBron says, I'm not going to let my kids play football. That weighs a lot with a lot of people.
Right.
Oh, wow, LeBron won't let his kids play football.
Yeah.
He played football as a kid. Maybe we shouldn't let our kids play football. Let's have them play soccer or lacrosse or run track or, whatever. So you have that increase there. And instead of teaching the kids to do it right, you've got, you got them playing either flag football with helmets on, and they're not playing tackle. They're doing light tackle, light touch or instructional leagues where you're really not supposed to hit. Like, the games are getting softer. People are getting softer. They're getting more or overly cautious in some instances. Because I'm not knocking everyone. Sometimes you need to be cautious as a parent, I know. But sometimes people can be overly cautious. A lot of the popular sports for children, combat style, freestyle wrestling, for example, don't have the same clout, don't have the same amount of inclusion as they used to. Parents nowadays aren't requiring their children to do a lot of those sports like they used to, which even if the kid didn't want to, and I grew up, I wrestled and I didn't want to. I had no choice. I'm glad my parents did it because it made me a better athlete. It made me stronger. It made me realize that even as a child, there's sometimes where I have to stand on my own 2 feet. If I'm going to win, it's going to be up to me and nobody else. I can't rely on a teammate, can't rely on a coach, can't rely on mom and dad. If I want to make it happen, I got to make it happen. So there's lessons that a lot of those, especially those solo sports, gymnastics, wrestling, swimming, ones like that aren't being pushed much anymore, teach kids. Those lessons aren't being taught anymore. Those kids they're playing more video games. They're staying in more. They're not having those same lessons learned. So you've got people doing more esports. The rise of the Madden tournaments in the 90s is a big part of that. Now we had StarCraft in the early 2000s, and that started to get broadcast on TV on ESPN at night. You have now the FIFA tournaments. You've got the NBA 2K leagues now. And then it's one thing to have an esport person on the cover, but for it to be freaking Fortnite, though, like, come on, like you could have somebody from another game.
Yeah, so that's the Fortnite. I guess that's probably the disappointing part. Is just
that's the disappointing part.
There's so many, like, just recently with the whole Madden tournament with the shootout and everything. I mean, there's so many other people from like actual sports games. Esports sports games. That sounds crazy, but
that you could, Madden, you could pick from,
right? That you could,
the FIFA tournament winner, something,
right?
Something
Madden winner,
at least that's tied to sports.
Yeah,
that's tied to an actual.
I mean, there's not too many MLB leagues yet, but I'm sure there's some real sports.
No, there are. There's a lot of MLB ones out there. When I was working for Dun & Bradstreet, a couple of guys I was working with, big MLB The Show players, played big tournaments.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, they're not they're not
as popular.
The awareness isn't as big as like the Madden and the 2K and the FIFA. So
that's because it's only on PS4. It's not cross-platform.
Oh yeah, that's true too. But so I'm just like that's the part of disappointing. But like I said, I didn't necessarily. I'm not surprised. I'm like, it was bound to happen. I expected it to be a Madden tournament winner.
Yes. Or a 2K.
2K or FIFA, especially with the World Cup just passing.
Mm-hmm. I thought it might have been one of these college games.
Yeah. But crazy.
Well, we talked about before, some of these universities giving out scholarships for League of Legends. I thought, okay, maybe it'd be one of these college kids that are competing for their school, and they won, the Big Ten title or whatever. Like the fact that there's a Big Ten League of Legends championship out there, like what?
That's crazy.
It's a crazy thought, but it's a real thing. So I would think if anyone would be gracing the cover, it would be a student esports athlete or something like that.
Sure.
No, it's a dude that plays Fortnite. Yes, he's really good, but dude plays Fortnite. Like so many other games you could have picked than a dude that plays Fortnite.
But I guess ESPN is just riding that whole. they're riding the Fortnite wave too, like everybody else. Like,
I guess.
I mean, you got the dance, Fortnite is everywhere now. You got the dances, you got the it's like ridiculous how big Fortnite is. We were talking about it last night about the
it's funny
divorce rate.
The 5% divorces in 2018 are attributed in some part to Fortnite. Like 5%. It's a lot of divorces because of somebody complaining about Fortnite.
Right. That's insane.
Now, I want to go dancing. All he wants to do is these dumb Fortnite dances.
Right.
Which to me, like Destiny was doing those dances before Fortnite. Like, come on, like let's not act like Fortnite came up with that.
Destiny's not as big as Fortnite.
Oh, if Bungie wouldn't have made so many people angry, it probably would be. But that's another topic.
Well, we're not going
to go back down that.
So ESPN being who they are, right, and not necessarily being about sports anymore, more than just money. I'm not surprised that it's a Fortnite player on the cover because how long has ESPN kind of drifted away from sports, from being all sports all the time kind of
I guess
and media platform. Now it's just about what can we do to make money.
Yeah, you're right.
Whatever it is,
you're right.
Even the swimsuit edition, you don't have as many
players. That's Sports Illustrated
anymore. Oh yeah.
Are you thinking about the body issue?
The body issue. That's
the body issue. Okay.
But there's not as many like athletes even in the body issue anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as there used to be.
Well, now that they have this deal with Vince McMahon, because they report on WWE now, they had, which I can't believe I'm saying. Like,
exactly. See, WWE is back on. It's really about how much can we make money.
Like, exactly. Like, you know me, I'm a huge wrestling fan, but my God, it's we know, like, it's predetermined. We know who's going over.
Hey.
We know who's winning the match. How they get there, we may not know.
How are you a sports?
But Vince McMahon, hell yeah, Vince McMahon knows who's going over. There's no one's being surprised here. Like, how much money did you have to pay, or did they pay you? Who knows who paid who? But like, come on, we're really reporting on the WWE results.
I mean, what I want to know is who are the journalists that are writing this stuff? Because it's like what? You gotta have the easiest job in the world. Like,
hi, I'm so and so for ESPN, reporting live here from SummerSlam, where John Cena went over yet again. Like, really, like, come on. I don't like. I love wrestling, but come on, like that makes no sense at all. Like, I knew it was getting bad when they had the freaking World Series of Poker, but I was like, okay, that's kind of like a one-off. But,
even that's another one. That was, World Series of Poker. When they used to do the bowl, I don't know if you remember late night, they used to do the bowling tournaments.
Yeah, see, bowling at least bowling has at least more, as the same amount of physical activity as
physical activity, true.
Yeah, that's still technically a sport because you're moving at least. True. But come on, man. It's poker. You sitting there and you playing cards, man.
And then they used to have what you call it too on ESPN. It was late night. Trick shot magic with the pool stuff.
Yes, I remember. I remember watching my girl Allison Fisher. Allison Fisher would be killing them. I was like, go ahead, Allison.
But it's not a sport.
And then you had the pretty Asian chick. I forget what her name was. Those two, they'd be going at it. And then you had the fatter white dude with the walrus type mustache doing had all those cool vests with the colors on them. I forget his name, but he was dope. I love that dude. Yeah, you had all those trick shots.
So
and they had the rodeo stuff late at night too.
Yeah. So he is, but I mean, rodeo is still physical. So I'll
that
take
is physical. Yeah.
But
so right now what we're saying,
been selling out for a while.
so right now what we're saying is that ESPN is the new MTV, and pretty soon we won't even see sports on ESPN. Just like there's a whole generation that's never seen music videos on MTV. They don't even probably know what the M stands for.
Nope.
In MTV
stands for mayhem.
Pretty much. Speaking of mayhem, Jordan 33s.
Trash. Moving on.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Just because what? Just because they're laceless, they trash?
Nah, I mean, because the futures. Well, I didn't like the futures either, but
Well, I like the futures.
I mean, I've grown accustomed to the futures. Like they're not as bad as I thought they were when they first came out.
I like the futures. I was just mad that they didn't make them my size.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna front.
Yeah, these 33s are I trash.
Okay. Well, speaking on the shoe topics, then we talked previously about some NBA rule changes. Here's an NBA rule change I kind of like. For years and years, you had to have matching shoes for NBA teams. If your team was wearing black, you had to wear a primarily black shoe or a primarily white shoe. If those around to remember, when Michael Jordan came back in '95, the Bulls were wearing black shoes, and he wore the famous Jordan 11 Concords that were not even released yet and weren't even supposed to be released during a playoff game against the Orlando Magic, and he got himself fined because he was wearing primarily white shoes while the team was wearing primarily black. Now, players can wear any shoe of any color they so well choose. It's about time. In my
That should have happened a long time ago.
Should have happened a long time ago. I understand a look of uniformity to a certain extent, but those days are gone. You know, you're selling ad space on your jerseys now. You're not. The league's brand is strong enough to allow people to do whatever they want on their feet. Like it's their shoes. Who cares? Let them make money with their shoes. You're holding them back from being able to be as creative as they want to be with the shoes anyway by making them either have to be black or white or at least the same color scheme. So it's like, who cares? You know, let them rock whatever they want to rock. If it helps them stand out, cool. It helps them stand out. If they want to be green.
I mean, the people that are standing out, it's going to be the same ones anyway that already have shoe deals. I mean, it's going to be the Steph Currys, the LeBrons, the Kyries, But
now, but if you're, let's say you're a mid-level player who, let's say you're let's say you're Ken Bazemore, okay? I'm not picking on Ken. This is like I'm gonna assume Ken's smarter than I know. I don't know. Let's say you're Ken Bazemore, okay? You're a talented player. You're probably the best player on the Hawks, but the Hawks suck. You want to make as much money as you can. So let's say you being Ken Bazemore, knowing you're the best player in a market that's really down, you want to make the most of your opportunity as being the best player while you can. So you pull a Ben Wallace, you pull a Stephon Marbury, you start your own shoe label, your own shoe brand. Before, your shoes would have to fit within the NBA rules of what they had to look like to fit the team. Now you don't have that restriction. You can be as unique, as risque, as avant-garde as you want to be. That will help you market and expose your shoes better than you ever would have been a chance before. So when you're Ken Bazemore and you're out there and you're doing your thing as the best player for the Hawks and you're getting your ESPN highlights because you're their best player, that's more exposure for your shoes. Because now when your highlights are being shown, they're going to be like, what's Kent wearing? The sportscasters, I mean, come on, you know, Stuart Scott was still with us. He saw some funky shoe he'd be wearing. Kent Bazemore goes up, oh, what's the dunk? And what are those on his feet? Wow, I got to get me some of those. Those are funky, fresh, whatever. You know, like right. That's the type of reaction you hope to get. So people are like, oh, wow, Kent Bazemore. They're on their Google machines. Kent Bazemore shoes. What are they? Whatever. Like, you've got more to work with now as a player. The big companies, they have more freedom to expand on the canvas now. You know, it's something like you said. It should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah, but the thing that I'm wondering though is how long is that hype going to last? It's, you know what I mean? Like right now, yeah, it's going to be, because there's going to be that, like, everybody's going to come out with their, not everybody, but, you know, a good amount of people are going to come out with their own, either their own shoes or, like I said, like those big name guys with the big name brands, they're gonna be able to be more free with the designs that they do now, because most of the stuff, they just switch the color scheme up, like Ray Allen used to do all the time with the Sugar Rays. He had 13s, but it was always green and white when he was on the Celtics, or or the black and red when he was on the Heat, and all that. So it's like, I'm wondering, after a while, like, that's what made those unique. You know what I mean? Like, that's why you could go Google the Sugar Rays right now. Like, his color scheme. You can't, like, those are team colors only. And, now it's like, well, I could cop that same color in the store, which is going to get sales. But after a while, it's like, it is no different than Nike ID.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, I can go make that same color. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing special about it anymore. So I think there's some, from the player side or from the sneaker side, me being, the sneakerhead that I am, you kind of lose some of that rarity and that authenticity of, like, yo, I got the team, I got the team LeBrons, or I got the team whatever, the Kyries or whatever.
See, I don't think it's
only
going to hurt that.
500 of or whatever.
See, I don't think it'll hurt the exclusivity, because Nike ID is still going to be limited, and they will be able to come out with more exclusive, once in a kind design. So, for example, they've been doing these Christmas uniforms, right? Like, they had those ugly sweater ones like a year or two ago, whatever. Now, the shoe company will be able to make more custom, unique St. Patrick's Day, Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving edition kicks that they'll make 1,000 of and sell exclusively. So this is going to expand more. So you'll still have those exclusivity kicks that only certain people get their hands on and they pay an exorbitant amount of money for, and still have the freedom to be more loose and more creative on the regular games as well. So, I mean, I can see, come on. How dope would be for February, Nike drops a Black History Month line of sneakers.
They did that before.
But, like, have they? Not that I remember. Mm-hmm. But if they did that, if they went back, if they went back and highlighted all the hoop heroes and for Black History Month on the sneaks.
Yeah, I don't think they did the hoop heroes, but I remember them doing something for.
Hey, I haven't seen no freaking MLK Jordans or Nikes. If I had, I'd have copped them. You know what I'm saying?
They did. They weren't like. I remember them because I was trying to get them and they sold out. There was it did it was like the African, like the Africana type colors, like with the print and stuff like that. I remember.
Okay.
I gotta look it up because I don't quite remember exactly what, but I remember I was like, yo, I'm gonna cop them Black History Month. They were the Jordan 1s.
Okay, you know what? Okay. I think I remember what you're talking about.
They had the red, black, and green, and
yeah.
Hold on, let me see if I. And then yeah, and then it was these two, the Nike. They did the KDs. I forgot about these.
Oh, the Kobe's,
the LeBrons, and
was it the Kobe's?
Was it the Kobe's?
I remember I think it was, yes. I remember they had some funky African style print on the shirts and maybe in the kicks too.
Right. Yeah. So they've done it before, but to your point, I haven't seen anything exclusive
Yeah, like having
like a Dr. J. Nah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, or like a Bill Russell or something like that. And Nat Sweetwater Clifton, some of the guys that broke through the color barrier, for the NBA, some of the real old timers. That would be something that would be cool, They would be able to do more of those, do more pink kicks for breast cancer awareness. They could do a special blue for, testicular cancer awareness, and, a March for Dimes edition. This restriction being lifted creates so many more possibilities for the shoe companies, for the players that want to start their own brands, and unfortunately for LeVar Ball, but he's probably not smart enough to take advantage of it. I think it's great. Like it increases commerce, which I can dig that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm cool with it. There's more options for me.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So next topic here, we have an interesting one where Disney's Bob Iger confirms that Marvel is going to take over Fox's X-Men franchise. How excited are you for this bit of news? I hear you clapping.
It's about time. Bring Marvel home. We brought Spider-Man home. Bring X-Men home. We brought Spider-Man home. It's time to bring X-Men home too. Man, like, come on. Nobody else can do it better than Marvel, Disney. They can't. Nobody can do Marvel better than Marvel. They've tried, and
they have tried
miserably. Just like Spider-Man, they failed miserably. Like, just send them home, man. Send them home.
Iger told the Hollywood Reporter that, and I quote, "It only makes sense. I want to be careful here because of what's been communicated to the Fox folks, but I think they know. It only makes sense for Marvel to be supervised by one entity. There shouldn't be two Marvels." But that leads to one question because of the one.
Where is Fantastic Four?
Well, not even that. What's the one thing that they did do right?
For Fox?
Yes.
What's the one thing they did right? They did something right?
Yeah. It was only one thing. They did one thing right.
Refresh my memory.
They did Deadpool. They did Deadpool right. Now, Disney owns Marvel. Disney ain't known for dropping no rated R movies.
Yeah, but they let them. I mean, even with Fox doing Deadpool, like, they still had some creative.
Not as much.
They still own, yeah, but they still own the licensing. So
not nearly as much because the property was on lease. Like, yes,
yeah,
with them, but it's on lease. Like, they didn't have say over that.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they probably do, because that's a big thing to put in your lease. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're, like, if your whole core of your company is family values, you're not going to lease out your property and not have some kind of clause about the content as far as whether it's going to be rated R or not.
It depends upon when that licensing took place, though.
Yeah, I still
did it happen? Did it happen before Disney bought Marvel? Because it might have.
Well,
we don't know. We don't know how long that they've had the property for.
That's true.
But
I would think that Disney had something in, some kind of hand in that. Maybe they were like, we don't care because we're not putting it out under our name, so do whatever you want. But I'm pretty sure that they had to have some say. I mean, you could be right, but I'd be surprised if they didn't have any say so whatsoever.
But can you imagine Disney producing a rated R movie?
Because and all the Marvel movies, you don't see any connection to Disney. Like, other than people knowing that Disney owns Marvel, it's not like they got big, Walt Disney World, bumper in the intro. Like, they go,
right.
Just all the studios, but you never see Disney anywhere in the announcements of the studios. You see Paramount, you see Marvel, you see sometimes 20, Fox, whatever. But
you don't see it for Star Wars either. But their impact is evident.
Well, I think Star Wars is more family friendly than Disney. I mean, than Marvel. Because Marvel, you have
more family friendly than Spider-Man, man. Come on.
Besides Spider-Man.
Captain America. Like, the Avengers are family. Are the Avengers, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four always been very family-friendly franchises for Marvel.
Right, but what I'm saying,
Deadpool's a dark one. X-Men's like a medium one, you know. But those the ones they've been focusing on, Disney has, as far as the Marvel entities, have all been family-friendly, you know, PG at worst, really, franchises.
Right, but what I'm saying,
and the violence is what makes them PG-13 movies anyway. It's not even really even the content, really.
True, but with the exception of Spider-Man, there's never been this push for kids per se. Like, they know that their core audience isn't necessarily kids, right? They know
Spider-Man?
I said other than Spider-Man.
The Avengers too.
I mean, I don't see it as much like with the Avengers.
So many people. I was surprised. I was so many parents. I'm like, y'all know it's PG-13, right? So
right, but that's what I'm saying.
5, 6, 7-year-old kids to see the Avengers because that's what they were reading when they were 5, 6, 7.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So, like, it was even shocking to you that, like, it was like, okay, this is for, you know, this is like for kids, like, because it's never been really geared that way. Even the cartoons, the comic books, everything has never really been geared towards kids. It's always, I mean, we know kids read comic books, right? Adults don't necessarily read comic books, but it was always that edgy. Right. Yeah. I mean, like, what I'm saying is, like, you know, it was like when you see an adult reading a comic book, it's like, oh, that's for kids. Not now, not so much now, but like when we were kids.
Well, it depends on what they're reading. Like, if we saw an adult, you know, if we saw an adult reading an Archie comic book, we'd be like, what's wrong with you? You know. But if we saw an adult reading, you know, Spider-Man or X-Men, that was like, okay, cool. You're reading, you know, because they were reading Batman, they were reading Superman. But if they were reading something that was more kiddish, then, you know, then we were like, okay,
exactly. There you go, right there. That's what I'm saying. It was those were geared towards adults. So that's what I'm saying. So with the exception of Spider-Man was kind of the exception to the rule. But, you know, it may be Superman probably. But if it was Batman or any of the other Marvel properties, you know, it was like, this is more for adults. This is geared towards adults, you know. And so I'm not like, I don't think Disney is necessarily saying like, oh no, we're gonna like, we had all the success, you know, Fox had all this with Deadpool, so we're just gonna stop it right here and we're gonna bring it back down to PG. Like, I don't see that happening. I think they're gonna be like, you know what, we're gonna produce it, and it's not closely tied to our name anyway. At this point, everybody knows what you're getting when you get Deadpool. It's like, you know, why not just continue that, you know, that wave? And at the end of the day, we all know Disney's about making money over anything else. You know what I mean? Obviously, they went and bought another studio.
True. Well, the thing is, and then because of the established tie-in between X-Men and Deadpool, does that mar? Because I think they will, you know, clean up X-Men, and X-Men would not. They don't want that tied to X-Men. So would they redo Deadpool? Would they just completely separate it? Because obviously, from what we've seen already, they're clearly tied together. So it's like, what are we going to do? Because now X-Men's a bit darker because of the connection to Deadpool.
That's a tough spot to be in.
Exactly. I mean, it's a really tough spot.
Yeah. But I think you could, I would argue you could do, I mean, because it's been done already, right? You could do X-Men without Deadpool.
Right.
And you could do Deadpool without X-Men.
But then you'd have to restart it. You'd have to do another Deadpool solo movie with Ryan Reynolds, and then the people will have the same reaction when they redid.
Not really. They never really. I mean, because you think about it, they never really included any I think that was purposely done, but they never really included any major X-Men characters.
Right? The most major character they had was Colossus.
Right.
Colossus, a lot of people got introduced to Teenage Negasonic in that movie because they never heard of her before.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So you can do the entire X-Men, core X-Men besides Colossus. And even Colossus you can do, because Colossus was the one who was always like, he was very proper and like clean up your act and clean up, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because that's how he is.
Right. So you could even argue like, yeah, he was with Deadpool, but you know, he's with the X-Men because he's not necessarily associated with Deadpool in the sense of, you know,
he's not
like,
cool with what he says and does.
right. I never condoned anything he was doing anyway. So I'm cool with just like I can still be part of the X-Men, and nobody's gonna be like, oh, well, he's condoning kids to go watch Deadpool by him being in both movies. But it's like, well, no, because look, he never actually agreed with anything in there anyway. You know what I mean? He wanted him to be a clean hero like the rest of the X-Men.
Right.
So I think that was smart scripting. I don't know if it was planned, but it was definitely smart.
That was just comedy spots there, but
yeah.
I would like. I mean, if this is true, if everything Iger is saying is accurate, I've heard, and of course, you don't mean being the comic book purist I am. I would want to see an actual, real, authentic, original Squad origin story for X-Men. If they're not going to tie it into what I talked about before on Trailer Talk, where I proposed they pull in the X-Men to bring in a Avengers versus X-Men movie series, I want them to start fresh then. If they're not going to do that, I want them to start fresh, original Squad, Cyclops, Marvel Girl, Beast pre the Fur, Iceman, Angel, Xavier. Like, I want the OG Squad, tell the story right. You don't have to commit to Beast and and Iceman. I'm sorry, Beast and Angel for long because they end up leaving the Squad. Then and Iceman too. Then you can bring in the more common ones, Storm, Wolverine, Colossus. You can start bringing them in because other ones move on. And you can also move Beast to the Avengers, which is where he goes in the comics anyway, to continue the Avengers story with the evolution of that Squad, and just keep it going. It's not hard in my opinion, but give me the OG Squad.
Yeah, I would like to see that anyway, just to totally erase the same way they did with Spider-Man. Let's just totally erase everything that's happened in the last 15 years.
Yes, that train wreck.
Let's just start over.
Yes,
start fresh with the true Marvel, the way it's supposed to be done.
Yes,
recast everybody.
Give me a good Jean Grey, please. My God.
Yeah.
Like, nothing against Famke Hansen. I did like her, but she was also a bit older, and I like Sophie Turner, but I don't see Jean Grey when I look at Sophie Turner. I see too much Sansa Stark when I look at Sophie Turner. I don't see Jean Grey.
So I say let's just do it. Let's just redo it all. And I think you can still keep Deadpool rated R. You can do PG-13 with X-Men. Just so you can push the envelope a little bit. Because you have to with X-Men because it's a dark story. There's a lot of dark spots in there, and then there's the whole
Dark Phoenix, the Dark Phoenix saga. The saga. It's dark for.
Yeah. And then even just the racial undertones with mutants and all that. So you could definitely push it to PG-13. You don't have to necessarily include Deadpool, and and you can get away with it. And now let's just bring Fantastic Four home, and we
save the Fantastic Four,
please. The original family. I mean,
yes, the first family of comics, the OG family of comics. Like, this is, come on, it saddens me. And nothing against Michael B. Jordan, but come on, that was just bad casting, and the dude they casted to play Reed was bad casting, and Kay Mara was bad. That was just bad casting, terrible. And then of course the Jessica Alba one, I love her, but that was bad casting. She's not Sue Storm in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Speaking of totally off subject, but
of course is what we do.
Yeah, with Michael B. Jordan and Superman.
Okay. If he plays Val Zod, I'm with it. I'm totally with it. If he plays Val Zod. If they just palette swap and make him Black Clark Kent, which makes no sense whatsoever, then I'm not with it. But if you make him Val Zod on Earth 2, I'm totally with it. And I can envision it. I'm telling you, David, if I was thinner, I'd have done this myself. This is how the first teaser needs to go. I'm pitching this to you right now. Teaser is going to last an entire 5 seconds, maybe 10 if you stretch it out. Okay? 15 seconds max, okay? This is how the teaser goes. You have, he's flying, but he's flying like so fast, like it's hard to make out. But you can tell, you see the glimpse of the Superman logo, but you can tell it's a different color because Val's got that blue and white, which looks so dope. So you can see this is Superman symbol, but you're like, whoa, what's with the costume? And he's going so fast, you really can't tell he's black. So he's flying. You see different angles of him flying through the air. Flying. Cut down to an alley. Woman is being cornered by by 4, street thugs. I'm thinking like 80s style street thugs too, with like the leather stud jackets and switchblades. Warrior style, and they're cornering her in the back of this alley where she has no escape. She can't get out because there's a brick wall, which never happens. I've never seen a single one of those alleys in the city, but apparently they're all over the place in the movies. They're cornering her
so conveniently
in the alley with the convenient lights, on her, and they cut back.
Perfectly placed
lights, yeah. So then cuts back to Val. He's flying through the air. You can see his face, and then he angles down. He's flying, and then it cuts back to the woman, and she's looking up in fear, and the light's on her, and then the light goes away because the shadow of the 4 guys is starting to eclipse the light, and then boom.
3-point stance.
Yes, thank you. 3-point stance landing. The white cape falls over the shoulders. He stands up slowly, head facing down, stands up slowly from the 3-point stance, looks up at them, hits him with the piercing piercing gaze, and says, "Kneel before Zod." And it cuts off.
I wouldn't even have him say anything.
No, he got to say kneel before Zod.
And it cuts.
No, he looks at him, he says
Summer 2019.
No, he says
Boom.
kneel before Zod. He's got to say kneel before Zod. Because the reason why he has to say kneel before Zod is because then that's going to get everybody thinking and talking like, whoa, what? Zod? How is Zod Superman? How is Zod black? For all these people that don't know the comics, they're going to be bugging out. They're going to be all over Google. We're talking crazy buzz. Crazy buzz.
Yeah. That was really dope. I like it.
If I was thinner, I'd get the suit. I created myself, but I can't fit in none of them suits.
Check. What's the PO box for the Jeek Nation? Just PayPal us.
Yeah, just PayPal us. DC, you got it. Make sure there's 6 zeros, and I don't care if it's a 1 or a 7 or whatever. As long as there's 6 zeros at the end, I'm with it. We're good. You got your pitch. You got your spot. Michael B. Jordan, holla at me, dog. We got you.
Jersey family right here.
Word. I'm close. I'm in PA. Close enough. Hit a brother up. Come on. Kneel before Zod. I will get the T-shirts, everything. Shoot. Got that fly blue, the silver Superman logo. Kneel before Zod in the back.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Come on. If he plays Val Zod, I am on board as Michael B. Jordan as Superman. Completely. I would love it. Unlike the travesty of casting Nicolas Cage as Superman. Anyway, other news that could or could not be a home run or disaster. Netflix has announced that they will be producing Chronicles of Narnia movies and a series.
I gotta say, Netflix they've been nailing it for the most part. I mean, they're batting. They're not batting 1,000, but
Believe that in 1,000. No, but let's put it this way: they're hitting Netflix is batting above 300. Let's put it that way.
For sure. Yeah, they're definitely hitting above average. So I'm cool with it. I mean, I always like the Narnia series, Christian fiction for them, for
those who don't know.
For those who don't know or who didn't grow up Christian.
Or even if you grew up reading Narnia, didn't realize that C.S. Lewis was a Christian, and there's a lot of Christian undertones and
Christian
wonderful writings that are the Chronicles of Narnia.
But it's like, but if you grew up Christian,
it was required reading.
This is 94. Yeah. That was your summer reading program for the next.
I was like, okay, well, what can I read except for my Bible, Mom and Dad? Read Narnia. Read Narnia. That's what you can read.
Go read it now.
Go read your Narnia.
And then you can watch the how many tapes was it? VHS tapes? 10 tape series.
Yes, the 10 tape series. Yes, on the audio. Then they had the made for TV movies.
Made for TV movies.
Yeah. And then of course, the wonderful production that Disney did, which is so good.
Yeah.
Not perfect, but so good.
So I mean, I think it'd be good. I think I'm actually excited to see it.
But can they? The thing is, Disney hit the first film. They hit The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe out of the park. Like they hit a grand slam with that. So knowing that another property's already done it, probably to the peak that it can be done. If you're Netflix, where do you start? Do you say, you know what? We're not even going to tackle The Witch and the Wardrobe because you've seen this and it's been done so well. We're going to start right with, the Silver Chair. We're going to start with The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. We're going to start with Prince Caspian, A Horse and His Boy. Like, where do you decide to start? Because can you recreate that magic that they did for Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? And I don't know if they got the juice for that. They don't got Disney's money. They got money. They don't got Disney money.
Okay.
Only Apple has Disney money. They ain't got Disney money.
And Amazon. Don't forget Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah, those are the two companies that got Disney money. Amazon ain't playing with the billions now.
Yeah. They in trillions.
Yeah. Like Disney got money to produce,
which is insane. But but yeah, I think they can do it, and I think they can do. I think it's been long enough from the Lion and Witch and Wardrobe, and because remember Disney did Lion, Witch and Wardrobe, they did Prince Caspian, they did Voyage of the Dawn Treader too. They just weren't.
No, they did the first two. The last one, I think another studio did.
Okay, so
and that was terrible.
But they used the same cast.
Same cast, but different studio.
They did, yeah. So, I mean, I think it's been long enough now that they can do it, and nobody's gonna be like, "I've seen this before." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, it's been what 10 years? It's been a while since.
It's been a while.
It's been a while
because my older kids were, probably 10 years. So I think Alex was like 10 when the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe came out. It's been a while.
I remember, because I remember, I was still, it had to be about 10 years, maybe 13, 12.
We'll see. You're right, 13, 2005.
Yep, I remember. I remember when it came out.
So it's been 13 years.
Yeah. So I think that's long enough where you separated yourself, you know what I'm saying? Where you got a whole generation now that hasn't seen, they may have seen it, if their parents are, like us, required reading, required watching.
Yes, like my youngest ones. Right.
TV shows, you ain't watching SpongeBob and all that. But there's a good portion of America that hasn't seen, those series, or even the original series.
Right.
So I think they've separated themselves long enough where they can redo Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe and everything else, and all the other books, the other 4 books, and nobody's gonna be like, they know they can't touch Disney. with the exception of one like us who we've seen
the ones who've seen it. Yeah.
And like I said, it's a bigger property, it's more well known, so they seem to take those more seriously.
Definitely.
That I've seen with Netflix, like the more well known stuff, they take more seriously. They put more money into it. They put more time into it. The casting is better.
Yeah, so that's what it's going to come to. It's going to come down to production and the casting, because you have to hit a home run with this casting. Because those kids they had, I don't remember who they are, but they were excellent.
Yeah,
like they weren't even. I don't think any of them became big stars, but they were excellent.
Now the thing that I think is going to be a struggle for them is they're going to have to compete with Amazon and the whole Hobbit trilogy and all of that they're doing from the Hobbit to I'm drawing a blank.
Fellowship.
Right now. You know, I'm talking about the series.
Yeah,
Fellowship of the Ring, Lord of the Rings. So I don't know what the time frame of when they're coming out, but if they're coming out around the same time, you're gonna have to compete with Lord of the Rings on Amazon. You know what I mean? And so that's gonna be tough because, like we said, Amazon got the money, but Amazon original series are as good. They haven't been as good.
Yeah, I mean, the Man in the High, the Man in the High Castle, whatever. That's good.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah, their original series, they're definitely not as good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely potential. I'm excited for it because I love Narnia. It's it's great, wonderful books. If you haven't read them, read them. Christian or non-Christian, excellent books. You are doing yourself a disservice to not read them. Huge disservice to not read them. Okay, well, speaking while we're talking about Netflix and the money that they have, Netflix is partnering with a favorite of the show who will be producing. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is partnering with Netflix to produce a film based on African American legend John Henry. And The Rock will be playing John Henry himself. Had you heard this?
I didn't hear this.
You did not hear this?
No.
What is your reaction to that news?
It fits. I think for The Rock, his size, his build, he fits. I think he'll do good. I think he'll fit the bill.
I sense hesitancy out of you.
Just because when I think John Henry, I think dark skinned, big black guy. You know what I mean? And The Rock is, he's not exact. Like I would picture more The Rock's dad than The Rock. You know what I mean?
No, okay. So if you don't know, Black Twitter and Black Facebook, for that matter, we're up in arms against each other over this thing because there is this idiotic argument about The Rock's blackness, which is just stupid. So if you don't know, The Rock is half black, half Samoan. His father is black. His father's family escaped the South, went all the way up to Canada to get their freedom. His father married his mother, who was Samoan. She is the daughter of High Chief Peter Maivia, who was a wrestler. Rocky Johnson, his father, was a wrestler, and The Rock became a wrestler as well. The story is total lie, but a lot of people know Dwayne Johnson as the actor now more than his time in wrestling. So some people don't know that part of his story that was so well chronicled during his wrestling career. But because The Rock is mixed and lighter skinned, and because he and his father did not have the greatest relationship, because Rocky Johnson and Rock's mother did not have a lasting relationship, they ended up getting divorced. The Rock grew up more with his mother. He lived around a more Samoan influence. Samoan culture is very family oriented. Polynesian culture is very family tribal oriented. So, being away from his father a lot, he was more immersed in the Samoan culture. He's never denied his blackness. And his first major angle while in the WWF was as a member of the Nation of Domination, which was a WWF version of the Nation of Islam, which he joined. So Rock has never denied his blackness. He's embraced his blackness. He kind of half-jokingly kind of poking fun at Tiger Woods by calling himself a Blamoan. The man black, okay? There's a lot of light-skinned black folks out there that no one's questioning their blackness. No one's questioning Alan Payne's blackness. And that brother's light skin is all get out. No one's questioning Lisa Bonet's blackness, and that sister's light. No one was
extra light.
Extra light. No one was questioning, Sabrina LeBouf or whatever her last name is from Cosby as well, and she is super light. There's a lot of light-skinned black folk out there. It is what it is. No one's questioning Michael Ealy's blackness. Okay, yes, we all. Primarily, all of us imagine John Henry to be a larger, darker-skinned black man because of the legend that he was a former slave and he was working out in the fields. And we know the tendency was the darker they were out doing the fields. However, according to the folklore, he was set free with the Emancipation Proclamation, which means that there have been over 200 years of black people in this country, and there's a whole lot of mixing that was going on during that time. So this thought that he was this off the boat, dark as night brother is ludicrous, not necessarily true, and the fact that it is still mythology. This was never a real person. So and that's just number one. And number two is the man's producing it. He's putting up his own money to make this happen. And I don't see any other brothers making it happen. I don't see Spike Lee making this happen. I don't see any other big black producers making this happen. Yeah. So if the man wants to put the money up and play the role himself, more power to him. Would I like to see a darker person be cast in it? Sure. But come on, how many can we think of that are dark enough, big enough, have the physique enough to play the role?
Not many.
Not many.
Not many.
I mean, Michael Clark Duncan is passed, unfortunately, God rest his soul. If he was still alive, I'd say he would.
Oh, he would have been.
He'd have been perfect. But what's his name from Mike Coulter? Dark enough, not built enough. He's not jacked enough.
I feel like all the other ones.
Michael Jai White can't act. I mean, I love the man. He's a great action star. He's a cool dude. He can't act.
Yeah, I feel like all the other ones, they're too old. Ving Rhames,
way too old.
In his prime, yeah, maybe.
Maybe in his prime. But Ving 60?
Yeah.
Way too old.
Forrest Whitaker's too old.
He never had the physique anyway.
Yeah, he never had the build anyway.
He's always a chubby brother. He never had the physique. You have to be muscular, big, tall, imposing. You'd have to be if he could act.
Maybe Terry Crews.
Too goofy.
I was thinking that too.
Like I've never seen Terry Crews act serious in anything. Not that he can't, but I've never seen him be serious. He's always in a goofy role. Even in Everyone Hates Chris, where he was kind of half serious, he was always goofy.
Yeah, but I think he's got the build. He's got the look. If he can get serious enough,
I tell you who would be perfect that's still alive if he could actually act, and would get in the gym a little bit.
Who?
Shaq.
Oh, but he can't act though.
But he can't act. If he could act and got in the gym just to tone up his muscles, he's got the skin tone people would expect. He's a monster, and he's strong as all get out.
Especially with the height too.
Especially with the height, because he's a mountain of a man.
Yeah.
And
he just fits the whole myth completely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It fits the tall tale well.
Big hammer.
Yes, you gotta give him the big hammer, and if Shaq could act, I would say Shaq.
Yeah.
Would be the dream cast, but Shaq ain't putting the money up. Dwayne's putting the money up.
But yeah, I mean that's the thing that kind of. I mean, like I said, I haven't heard about it, but that's the thing that kind of makes me mad about Black Twitter and just all that stuff in general is like why do we And I
Yes,
can
us, the collective we, yes.
Black, yeah. But even just me and you, you know, like, why do we always have to, you know, put brothers down? Like, he's doing something good for us.
Yes.
You know, especially in this time, day and age. I mean, he ain't pulling the Kanye on us. So I mean, hey, like,
right.
Matter of fact, you know, all y'all that's talking, give the man some more money. Like, let's support him. You know,
right.
Like,
I don't see anybody. All these keyboard warriors that are talking. I don't see any of them doing this project.
right.
You know, all the John Henry projects I've seen have all been from white folk. And the best one, that's been done was the short that Disney did, which was great. I love it, but Disney did that, and I remember it's on Netflix still. It's the first part of a series of shorts on Netflix. I don't remember the name, but it's got the girls from Frozen on the cover, and John Henry is the first one on it.
Oh,
and they have the dude that
shorts.
Yeah, and they had the dude that that was in charge of the project for John Henry, and he came. He's like, hey, I heard John Henry. I liked the story as a kid, and I went to Disney and they said, let's do this, and they said, okay, let's do it. Like, no brothers have done this, and
Right.
and he's the one mythical object, you know, we have in American folklore. He's it.
Yeah.
And no one's decided to put the money up for this? Really? But everyone wants to have beef because the light-skinned dude decided that he was going to do it and then he was going to star in it. Well, you know, I'm like, all power to him. You got the money, go for it, because at least somebody's doing it.
At least somebody's doing it. And
Somebody's doing it, and we need it. Because we can't rest on the laurels, and as much as I like Black Panther, we can't rest on the laurels of Black Panther, which was not Black produced. Like, let's not forget who really made money off that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Starring a whole bunch of Black folk, but directed by a Black dude. But let's keep it 100. You know? That's a Disney movie.
Yeah.
That's a Marvel movie. It's a Disney movie.
It was quick to kill him off too. Just saying.
I was so mad. Disney, please.
Oh, man, he had a month of shine and he killed him.
Stop killing all your good villains. You need those villains. Killmonger should still be with us. Purple
and Black
Man.
Panther too. Let's not forget Black Panther's gone.
Thank you.
R.I.P.
And you killed Claw too.
And you killed Claw and Spider-Man.
You killed Purple Man. Purple Man should still be with us.
Purple Man should still be
Purple
with
Man in her head was cool, but not as good as Purple Man alive. Not enough.
Cottonmouth should still be with us too.
Cottonmouth. Oh my God, so good. Should still be. Cottonmouth is key. One of the key villains in Luke Cage. Like, how do you just mope him out in 6 episodes? 8 episodes?
And then give us shades.
And a wax shades. Like, nothing against the actor, but that's not shades. That was and then the rivals. Like, come on, man. Like, Luke Cage was a part of that crew. They were a crew. Like, why convolute? And then the Diamondback we got was terrible. Don't even give me
Diamondback. Yeah,
I can't. If you have beef on The Rock playing John Henry, and obviously I'm not talking to UniqDNA, just in general, if you're listening, you have beef on The Rock playing John Henry, too bad. Suck it. He's playing John Henry. He's put the money up. You have beef, go create your own YouTube channel, get your own camera, find you a dark-skinned brother, and hopefully he can act and make your own version of the movie. Yeah. I'm going to watch this Netflix Rock version because it should be dope, and Dwayne respects our history, and I believe he's going to do a good job. 7 Bucks Productions has done a great job with all the things they've been a part of, and I have no qualms whatsoever on this light-skinned brother playing John Henry, especially because I haven't seen, not that hasn't been any uproar, but the uproar was not nearly this big for having all these white folks playing Black people in movies all the time. So, we got freaking, what's his name? The guy, your boy from Batman, and freaking Christian Bale playing Moses. Get out of here.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
We ain't going to talk about that. So, while we're still talking about Netflix, though, and since DC needs to kick us our money, we'll talk a little bit more about one of their properties. In the Titans. Now, I believe you've seen the trailer, correct?
Yeah, I saw the trailer. I saw it.
Okay. So Netflix is going to be distributing the Titans show, which I can't say I'm that excited to see. They kind
I'm
of
surprised.
So okay, I don't like the look of this dude that's playing Robin.
Well, he's supposed to be Jason Todd, so that's already messed up right there.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He's not Tim Drake. Oh, I'm sorry, Dick Grayson. If he's Jason Todd, Jason, what? Oh my God, I don't even.
Yeah, I was because when I watched the trailer, you seen the trailer, right?
I saw the trailer. Then they had to try to go over the board with the F Batman. I'm like, oh,
right. So when I saw that, I was like, why would Dick Grayson be saying F? Like it had a little falling out or whatever, but they never went that
falling outs, but like it was never that.
Right. They never went that far. So is this still trying to be edgy? I was like, or is this a Jason Todd Robin? So I Googled it, and nobody was really saying anything. And then recently, like I don't know, like Google, it gives you like on the mobile, it gives you like new, like stuff that you Google, it starts to give you news feeds about stuff, which is great.
Gives you
but
updates.
Anyway,
yeah.
So I saw it pop up recently. Like it's been confirmed that the Titans Robin is Jason Todd, and I was like, what? Like that doesn't even make sense.
Absolutely 0 sense. Now I'm even more irritated.
I mean, I wasn't going to watch it anyway because I was not paying DC.
Okay, well then I'm not as irritated over I'm not as irritated over the look now because he does look more of a Jason Todd look than a Dick Grayson look. But unless there's some books that I haven't read that I'm missing, Jason Todd was never a Titan in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Right.
So that is stupid. I am not jazzed about the sister that's playing, the look of her that's playing Starfire, because Starfire's orange. And I don't care what, the girl's black, white, or Kenny Apple red, Starfire is supposed to be orange all the time. Like, she shouldn't be black or white or any skin tone and then turn on orange. She's just supposed to be orange. She's an orange alien. She's orange.
Right.
Beast Boy which I still miss the old name Changeling, but whatever, I'm old. Beast Boy, spiky green hair? Really? He's green. He's supposed to be green. All the time, green. Like, this stuff is not hard. Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, that wasn't so.
And Raven, like, some shots of Raven, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because, I mean, I don't know what DC been doing lately, but they've just been terrible. Even there, like I was like, I used to be like, oh well, it's all right. They don't have the cinematic universe, but they got their animated universe, and it's been, the 2000 movies were like amazing.
Yes,
animated universe, but now it's like even the animated movies suck.
Well, they're just like
terrible.
like the Ninja Batman. I'm like,
yeah,
what?
Ninja Batman.
Now, granted, it's better than I thought it would be, but still, the concept is like.
I didn't even watch it, but I know Batman and Harley Quinn. I was like, what is it?
Yeah, I know. I'm sick of this forced Harley Quinn into Batman thing. Like, no, I don't want that.
Right.
Like, I love Harley and all, but they're really overdoing this Harley Quinn wave. Like, yeah. Harley was special, but I'm sorry, Harley is a secondary level character. She always has been. She's not a main character. She's just not, like, and I don't want her to be.
Yeah, she just completed Joker.
Part of her special. Yes, part of her specialty was she's a great sidekick.
Right.
Like, everyone she was paired with, whether it was Ivy, whether it was Joker, she was a fun sidekick. Pushing romantic interests with her and everyone else, it just made her into an industry hoe in DC books. No, but I'm serious, because they had her with Joker and they had her with Ivy. They were teasing that, and then they okay, well, they were a couple for a little bit, and then they had that time where in the movie where she banged Robin, and
Nightwing.
And, yeah, Nightwing. I'm sorry, Dick Grayson Robin. He's still Robin. He banged Nightwing. That was really freaky. That was really wrong, because she was like, I'm hot and dirty and sweaty because I've been running around, and then all of a sudden they knock her boots. I'm like, what? She didn't even shower. Like, yo, that's just. I was like, whoa, Dick, what is wrong with you, dog? Wow, that's nasty, man. They didn't. The whole thing. Yeah, they didn't hide it in any innuendo or nothing. They were flat out about it. They were like, hey, they just knock boots.
Yeah.
Then Batman shows up. Like, what is going on?
And he goes, did you find what you were looking for?
You found what you're looking for? I was like, oh my God, they did not go there. Oh my God. And then they have her, lately trying to, doing Batman. Like, come on. Why do you have to turn a character that was interesting, funny, witty into the hoe of the Gotham? Like, come on. Like, I just not necessary.
Yeah.
It's not like the
So I'm just honestly, I mean, yeah. Like I'm not like I've cleared my queue. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, all right, I watch everything else. There's nothing else to watch. Let me see. Let
me give it a shot.
Well, let's hear like some crazy reviews that just like, you got to see this, because like, like I had no interest in the DC streaming service that they were trying to push it on.
Yeah, no one's gonna buy that.
And I was like, if your movies were still good, then yeah, I probably would do it, right?
You'd have to have more than one good one.
Well, I'm saying like they're like, like I said, like the original, if I can say original animated series movies were like awesome.
If we're talking
Flashpoint Paradox and Green Lantern. And all that.
I think original. I'm thinking Master of the Phantasm. I'm thinking way back, but the 2000 ones were good.
But I'm saying like the 2000.
Yeah, those were good. Yeah,
and then even the old ones, but the original ones. But yeah, but I'm like, your most recent lineup has been terrible. I haven't seen a good Batman or any DC movie come out of that studio since probably like 2005. You know what I mean? And I was like,
Wonder Woman was good. Wasn't great, but it was good.
Okay, Wonder Woman is the exception to the rule, but I mean, like,
one.
Maybe Gods and Monsters probably was the last good DC animated short. I mean, not animated short, but animated movie. Yeah. Besides Wonder Woman, that's probably the last good DC property that came out of there since Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. Before Wonder Woman.
Right.
And I know you can't stand the Christian Bale Batmans, but I liked it. That was
terrible.
But other than that, like, the last 3 years, with the exception of Wonder Woman, have been trash.
Yes.
So, like, I'm not gonna subscribe to your service. What are you giving me? You're giving me trash.
I'm gonna give you Martha. Why did you say that name? Worst.
What I will say is, though,
my children could have written better dialogue than that.
I hope that Cyborg, if we ever get to it, I hope that's good.
There's sometimes, and we've talked about this before, I want to see accurate representation of all peoples in comics and film and etc. Because it's in the comics, but we don't generally always see it in film. But sometimes when there are studios or universes that are screwing up so bad, then I'm like, please don't even try. Like don't even bother. If you're not gonna do it right, don't even bother trying. Like, no. At first I was heated that they downplayed Cyborg so much in the Justice League. And then I was like, okay, cool. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. You're screwing up so bad.
Yeah.
Let it go. Just keep them in the afterthought if you're going to mess it up that bad. Please. Like
I thought they did good with him, though.
That's because they barely did anything. They barely did anything with him, so they didn't have much to mess up.
I mean, the spots that he had, so the dialogue that he had, kind of the little origin story, which, I mean, they try to do everybody's origin story in one movie, which was stupid, but
insanely stupid.
The origin story that they had, I was like, this is pretty cool. Like, it's not bad.
Well, I don't understand something. Maybe I'm just stupid, but there's this little movie trilogy that did really well. It started off fantastic. The middle was okay, and the ending wasn't so hot. But there was one thing that this little movie trilogy called the Matrix trilogy did that was really well, is they set the table for the story. This wonderful thing called the Animatrix that had stories that really weren't for the movie, but needed to be told. If you can't do a separate movie for the Flash, even though the Flash is big enough to warrant one, if you can't do one for him and you can't do one for Cyborg, you've already gotten your Batman stories, which we don't need to be done again. You've already did your Wonder Woman movie, and your Aquaman movie hasn't come out yet, but you still need to tell the story. Why did you not produce 15-minute short, 15, 20-minute short, whether it was animated, whether it was live action, to set the table for the movie? That way, everyone knows the principles are. You don't have to waste time in the film describing how they got to where they are.
True.
You film it while you're filming anyway.
Yeah.
There's always like 8 hours of stuff that gets shredded on the cutting floor. Right. You film the part, you make the short, and you put it on YouTube or whatever as you're building the film. You release a trailer, 2 weeks later, you release a short on one part on Aquaman, and then you do the other trailer, you release a short on Cyborg or whatever.
Sure. Like,
that's not a hard concept, especially for superhero movies, because you have so many stories you have to tell.
Yeah.
With superhero movies when it's a team mashup.
Yeah.
And you can't obviously tell all those stories all at once.
Right. So that's why I think they definitely could have just did, or just broke up the movie into more parts.
Kind of like what Marvel's done? What a concept. Multiple films. Look at that.
That sounds familiar.
That sounds interesting.
Right. So, yeah, that's what I think they failed. They failed.
A
lot of places.
I don't know. But for us, we're going to call that a wrap. So please continue, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you, as always, for listening to the original Jeek podcast. We appreciate your supports by subscribing, likes, the shares, and feel free to click on any link in the description. That helps us out. Like the link for Ibotta, the links for Turtle Beach headsets I usually am wearing. However, my Turtle Beach is being used, probably being used right now. I'm generally wearing my Turtle Beach, which I love so much. So sexy. This Xbox 360 drone is just a stand-in, but please continue to support us. And always follow us on all things internets at Jeek Nation, Facebook, the Twitter, the Reddit, which can't even begin to understand. But hey, if you understand Reddit, we're on Reddit too. All over the webs.
When did we get on Reddit? I don't know this.
Because
I know I've been going a while, but dang, I feel like I got kicked off the team.
No, man, you were just you were riding the pine a little bit, which you were on the IR. Yeah, we on the Reddit. And we are building. We're trying to get ready to use Discord. So while people are gaming, once we hit 100 people in the Jeek Nation community on Facebook, which right now we're in the 90s, Once we hit 100, we're gonna have the Discord ready so that while y'all are gaming, y'all can continue and have these similar conversations, about Jeek stuff. Because honestly, it's hard to find them. People that are going to talk sports and talk geek the way we do. So we appreciate the support on all the socials. Reddit is still new. I'm trying to figure out Reddit is. I don't got time to build up our reputation on Reddit. That's part of the problem. I really don't have time.
Reddit's pretty easy. It's a message board.
I know that, but you have to build up your Reddit reputation and all the likes, and it takes 800 years to get approved to comment. I just don't have time.
No, you gotta get out the grades, man. You gotta get out the grades. You just gotta participate a lot.
I don't have time to participate that often in Reddit. That's the problem. I don't have that time. You can undertake that.
Well, yeah, I'll do it. But if you do the mobile app, that helps because it's just whenever you
that's part of the problem. I don't have the mobile app for Reddit. That is probably it. Now that I think, put some thought behind it. I only go on to Reddit on my Mac. But we really appreciate your continued support, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Original Jeek podcast and all our sister podcasts, Breaking Ring Rust. Subscribe to us on the YouTube, on the Facebook, on the Twitters, on the Reddits, and on the Twitch at JEEK Nation. And for Rockinmrmagic, my boy UniqDNA.
UniqDNA.
Love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.
Peace.
We out.
Yeah.